As the Fair Trade Campaign Coordinator for the Sierra Student Coalition, I've had the opportunity to work with a large number of energetic, passionate students who are interested in fair trade issues and protecting our environment from the potentially devastating impacts of a global trade system that considers our environmental protections barriers to trade. I organized 4 trade activist trainings throughout the past year in Massachusetts, San Francisco, Miami, and New York City that trained in total over 150 fair trade activists on basic background information on fair trade agreements, basic activist skills that allowed them to take the fight back to their campuses and communities, and gave them the confidence to work for fair trade on a daily basis.
I worked with her throughout the year about working on a local campaign. I'm from Washington, so working in Olympia and checking out local legislation that would be negatively affected by NAFTA and FTAA. And now we're in the second part of our campaign where we're working more within the community with existing organizations and just educating people and working with the state legislatures and local city councils.
Issues like trucking in San Diego and migrant workers in San Diego are 2 things that we were able to take as an issue that we worried about, then learn more intensively at the training, and we were able to take that home and recruit students to work with and make that an issue in San Diego that people were working on, that people were concerned about. It went from something that we knew about in the back of our heads to something that we really worried about to something that we're trying to fix and change.
Currently, the Bush administration has filed a suit against the European Union's policy of consumer labeling genetically modified organisms in food. The Bush administration's suit in the WTO is a direct assault on the consumer's right to know what genetically modified organisms are being added to the food we eat.
Biotechnology is changing the global food supply, exposing the environment to new threats from man-made plants that are able to get out into the environment and completely change the ecology. And the global agribusiness is using trade institutions like the WTO to expand its reach and force these GMO foods and plants, crops on the rest of the world. And again, Rachel has been in the forefront of raising the alarm about how the trade institutions can dumb down our food safety standards.
By bringing pressure on our elected officials who have the ability to change these environmentally destructive trade policies, we can create a global trade system that honors rather than undermines environmental protections.
The question in globalization is not whether we're going to have globalization, but the question is, what are the rules? Are we going to have rules that promote fair labor practices? Are we going to have rules that raise environmental standards rather than lower them? And that really is the work that Rachel has been engaged in, bringing a broader set of values of decency, of environmental protection, of worker rights into the global economy. That's what this is all about.
In the not-so-distant future, when we create a global trade system that's based on the values of justice, fairness, and a respect for the environment, a system in which I would be proud to raise my children, and their children, and their children, I will know that I have contributed in some small way to making this global trade system of fairness come about. And I will continue working until that dream becomes a reality.